and get it in. This banana was nasty. Never again in my life. So I'm going to get to it again. This is another episode where well, I'm going to go over support and resistance. So this is going to be raw. This is going to be a raw video because I did not prepare at all. I kind of just woke up with the same mindset as last time. I'm just going to get up and do a video. I don't know what it's going to be on, but I don't really care. I'm just going to just, put something together real quick. So one that I did want to go over last time was support and resistance. So let's see. Support and resistance. I'm starting off with market structure. I know this looks kind of ugly, but I mean it's all good. It's all good. So remember when I said you make your up moves, you make your lower highs, your higher lows. You make this right here. So this is a low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and then higher low right here. And then with the highs, you got higher high, higher high, higher high. And then right here, you got your same high. You got your double top. Now, this double top form, what this actually is, would be considered as resistance. Right here. You would say, you could say like a roof. Let me make that pretty thick. Because this is saying that price is having a problem. And this is the area where price would, if you go back in time, like if you go back to older charts, you will see that sometimes these support and resistance lines should bounce off of like previous structure, and that's a good way to find like your next structure patterns. So let me just give like, you gotta have a real imagination for this, because like support and resistance, it definitely makes sense. It definitely makes sense. This is another beginner friendly type of thing. And this is just to help with market structure for you to understand like when you might see the next reversal. Like we don't just blindly just think that it's going to just go up and down. Like we wait for actual like time. So look at these levels. Let's say this level right here where it came up and then it fell down and then it came up again and then it came up again and it broke through. So at the time, this served as resistance. Well, this actually is a resistance line. I'm actually going to delete all of these so I can like start from scratch. Make it very, very simple. I'll make it very simple. Ooh. Bear with the kid. I did not come prepared. I come prepared for the next video though. No. Okay. So you got this roof right here. You see where price came up, and then you had a nice strong rejection from. And usually in this rejection, you might see it generally act up again before your next actual move. When I say act up, this is what I mean, because it's not always going to move perfect, exactly up, down, up, down. Sometimes it has to actually do this. It'll play in this range for a little bit. You might see it go down for a little bit more, and then you'll see it come back to that support area again, and then you'll probably get like a nice little sell off, something like that. And then, but if you don't break this low, then you should still be expecting upsides. That's the whole thing of it. You might get a strong sell off the support area. That's why it's support, because every time it comes up to this area, you get a strong rejection. Assume that we come back up to it again like this, you might get another rejection. So you can expect another like down move somewhat. But if you don't break this line right here, then you should definitely like still, your buy should still be up, because you might break that up move right here. And then you might come back and retest that line again. This line that was formed as resistance when you was over here, now this line forms as support. And I'm actually going to type that in at the bottom. This bottom right here is support now, because now this is saying that price might do this. it might just bounce off this area a couple of times. It might just bounce off that line a couple of times, signaling that it might be having a hard time to go through. So you might see another up move, and then with that up move, you might start to see another small little pullback, another pullback forming, and it might hit this area again. It just could hit this area again. So let me type it in at the bottom. Damn, I should have came more prepared. I don't even have time. So we got price. I think I'm actually gonna start the video from here anyways. Yeah, I'm gonna start the video from here. So let me just say it again. All right, let's go ahead and get it started again for the fourth time that I just said this and making this video. So I actually started over because I was not organized the first time. So we're gonna try to, let me do my 20 push-ups. When I get done, we're gonna get this call done. We're gonna get this training session done. I'm making a bunch of training videos right now. So let's say we got price, right? Let's assume this orange line is price. We're going down. You see we're making lower lows, lower highs, and then we come down to this line right here. And then you start bouncing off that line. And then eventually you start hitting up, and then you hit this purple line and you do the same thing. And then you come back down to the yellow line and you rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. This yellow line down here being the floor, this is supports. And why is it support? I mean, this line is basically like supporting price. It's keeping it from falling below. This is signifying that this is a strong area in price where price is not breaking that area, or it's having a hard time breaking that area. Now the same thing for the roof. You bounce off the bottom a little bit, you started making your way up. Now the top line, this is resistance. Because price is resisting from breaking this line. These are very important because just going off of everything, I'm gonna just start with like the base. I'm gonna just basically wrap up everything that I did in the videos. If you're making higher highs and higher lows, you're following market structure. This is, if you just follow basic market structure, this whole little sequence right here. This whole sequence right here is your down move. This whole little sequence right here is your up move. And I'm gonna make this green for up move. I'm gonna make this red for down move. Because you just by following market structure in the first video that I made, you going down, you consolidate for a little bit, and then you start going up. So that's exactly what this is. But support and resistance is like good for keeping a certain area, or it's just showing you what price is going to have like a hold. And these support and resistance lines, they come from way back in time. Like you can draw a support and resistance line on something that happened in 2003 or 2005, and 9 times out of 10, when it comes back to that price in 2020, 2021, it should have the same problems, or should have significant problems. So anyway, this whole down move, this whole area, that was a downtrend. Oops. This was sideways motion. This was your uptrend. So this is telling me that we're working with price. Price came to this little support area. And as soon that you see the support area, now you got your double top. You got your little patterns that is about to reverse. You got this. You got a nice little triple bottom, really like a quadruple bottom, but it's kind of rising up a little bit. You've been trading for a little minute, so you pop out your little trend line, maybe something like that. You start seeing your trend line scooting its way up. Maybe you see a pattern in the market. You'll see this, and then you'll see something like this. In the last video, that would be like a wedge, or like this would actually be like a channel. Now this is exactly it, because you see it falling down in this channel, and then you see it come to this area of support after it's been falling for a little minute. It comes to this area of support where it's having a problem. So you might see it like make this little up move right here, make a higher high, and then go up again. Once it goes up again, like right here, and is nowhere near the support at all, then you can definitely start looking for buys. Because now instead of you making this low move that you was making at first, and then you went sideways and consolidated a little bit, now it's just saying that it's turning around. And in this little area, like just going off of what I was talking about last time, you can go like candlestick formations. You can go off of like the patterns that I just shown. And once it comes up to this resistance, assume that you see the same thing. Assume that the uptrend is ending, and now you finna start working your way down, because it came up to this resistance line and it wasn't making no moves. So with proper risk to reward, let's say you got in right here. You seen this up move, you seen this pullback. You got in right here somewhere. Oh, excuse me. And you have your stop loss like maybe back at the support, because maybe like a little bit under it, just a little bit. Generally, remember, this is our beginner friendly. Like generally, you have it back at that little support or whatever, and then you would take it up to your next resistance line. This is how like beginners trade. You cannot get more basic than this. This is how the beginners trade. This is talking about my first video, which was market structure. Then the second one, risk to reward, which is this one right here. And then analyzing candlesticks, I'm gonna get into in a minute. But with formations, that's what I was saying. Like you can like see some engulfings right here. This move right here, that whole little up move from that support area, that's a definite like good area to pay attention to. This right here, because this move tells me, and it made a higher high, so it tells me that we definitely want to start seeing some up moves. So you get in, you ride that up move up. Now for your risk to reward, you got it back at the stop loss, so you risking 26 pips for 74 pips. So you still gonna come out winning in the end. Assume that this trade does hit. Now let's say it's the other way around. Say you didn't catch the buy. Let's say you wanted to catch the sell, because you feel like it's gonna start going down. So now you do the same. You kind of like do something similar for the sell. Let's say you see that break right here. Well, it wasn't actually a break. This was more of a break. Let's assume that you seen the break right here. You was waiting for the pullback. You're supposed to come up a little bit. You can't really see it, but I'm gonna just give you like the general idea. You have your stop loss like above that resistance, and then you just take it back. You can take it back to this support that you just left from, or this is where you start getting real savvy with it. Assume that the support breaks. Like assume that this area might break. Then you could like keep holding it, and you could probably just hold it down a little bit longer until it actually makes new support. So I think I need to go up for this one. I think I need to go up for this one to give another example. So we got the line. All right, so that purple is resistance. This line is going to be support. Right here. So we're going to assume that we're coming from the exact area that it was going down here. So we was about to start getting ready to come down, right? So let's make that down move happen there. And this is something that like you will see, because this is where it really starts getting, this trade really starts getting interesting when you make and break new levels. So you're coming off this resistance. You got in for a sell. You got it for a sale right here. And we're going to make this line blue, aqua blue. So now you got it for a sale. It probably came back and retested that resistance line one more time. and then it started making its way down. Now it was making its way down. It entered, and it like bounced off the line where we was having problems. But instead of it going up, we actually broke the line. And then you start seeing more downside. Then once it comes down to your next little support area, you can start seeing it getting ready to turn around again. So this line is going to be my new support. This yellow dot, this orange dotted line. Real quick, just put. So that's going to be my new support. So now what you can expect, if assuming that this is your new support, now what you can expect is for price to start turning around off this new support, and it'll probably make like a double bottom off that new support. Come back to the line that it just broke. It just broke this previous support. So now this support, before it maybe before it makes its next break, or if it even makes its next breaks, or even before it makes its next break, that line is going to get retested a couple of times, and it might actually form as a new resistance line. I don't really try to confuse it too much, but like I use support and resistance lines as like both. So like let me just go back a little bit. This is original. This is original support because that was the first support line that I plotted on here. Right. Can't even see it. Come on. All right. Now up here we got original resistance. So we broke this old support, right? So now this is the new support that we're playing off of, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're coming back up here to retest that original resistance. We still have to, like, let me go back. We still have this line. We still have this line to play with. So with this line, you can expect a lot of things. Me personally, I would still expect it to come up to the upside, but before it comes up to the upside, I know it has to like play around here a little bit, because now this original support turns into new resistance. So play around a little bit. You might see like a couple of down moves, and then you might break that line again, and then you start hitting up to this original resistance where you can start seeing more moves. You might not have, this was my problem when I first started, you might not have an ideal, you might not have a perfect idea of where price can go. But if you know where your support and resistance lines are, then you have a good guide on where it can go. Because assume that you didn't have this line. Oh man, couldn't do it. I was trying to make it live. I was trying to make it like a picture. Uh-oh. I want bear with me. All right, boom. What I'm trying to imagine is that I didn't have any of these lines over here, because this is how trading like really looks on a regular chart. I know this video is gonna be long. I'm gonna erase all these lines. Boom, boom. All right, because this is how trading like would really look on a line chart. So if you don't have no support and resistance lines, then it's hard for you to see when it's gonna go up or when it's gonna go down again. Like right now, just by with the lines, I see that it's coming up to this area where it stopped last time. So I could probably expect for it to, me personally, I can probably expect for it to come up here to fall again. That's just because I can see it. But not everybody can really see this. A lot of people, let's say they get in on the sell, they selling it down, and it kind of like consolidates right here. And since it consolidates right there, a lot of people are like preparing. A lot of people are preparing for buys, because they know normal market structure. You go down, you go sideways, you go up. So we're going down right here, and then we start going sideways for a long time. A lot of people are anticipating that buy up, and which is cool. Like, you know, you're gonna do what you do. You probably have like a 25 pip stop loss. You probably want to take it to the moon. Probably want to take it back up here to where it left or something. But then you got stopped out because it wasn't ready to make that up move. And without your lines, you don't know when it's ready to make the up move. Exactly. Like you just gotta assume. But if you actually got your lines plotted, then it makes it look like an actual chart. Now I can say that when it comes back up here, we might see it halt for a little bit, and then you have to wait for the move to make. So this is how. Let me do it again. We got boom, resistance. I don't even got a label at this point. Resistance. Down here will be support. All right. So we coming up here. So it's a story on something. Like this whole, you got to keep it with the story. I said we coming up here. This is the resistance that we left from that big sale. I mean, from that big sale down the first time, or we made do support. So it came back up to the resistance line again. It's playing around. You might break the line real quick, and then you might start retesting it on the top side. And then you might hit a new level of resistance up here. This being the new level, I'm gonna make this line blue. You hit a new level of resistance, and then you might start seeing downside. How do you know you see downside? You'll wait for this area to break. You wait for the old resistance to break, especially like if you got like a double bottom or something like here. Like you got like a lows, you got like a double bottom somewhere right here. You see it break that. You see it break that old resistance, which is now new support. Once you see that break and you assume that you do want to go back to the downside, you probably get like a little retest, and then you can start getting ready for a sale. Me personally, if I would have seen this on a live chart, I would have been ready for a sale once this old resistance / new support broke. Then I would have been ready for a sale because I see pullback. I probably would have got it on the first pullback, and then put your stop loss like it. It just depends on where you want to put it. You can put it up here at the new resistance. That's a nice little safe area to place it, and then you can have a take profit maybe down to the support. This being the old support that we had applied the first time. I'm gonna come down here and put the new support because this is, I ain't gonna lie, this is a nice little video. This is a nice little video for real. The thing about this is that you can take it down here to this original support that you had at first that turned into resistance, or you can take it down to the new support. It just all depends on like what's left. It depends on what structure was broken and how the structure may form. Because price can really do this. Like price could be going down and make this little down move. It'll get down here, and then it might make a double bottom before going to the next one. So, bunch of ways to really do it. This was more of like a beginners slash intermediate type of video. Another thing I'm gonna go over real quick. I mean, this ain't even hard. This is something like real simple. I think I had went over last time. You got your trend line. Pop out the trend line. Let's say we're going down right here. Boom. Draw the trend line. That's just like showing that like you can go down. So that's that. I don't know how long I've been on. I don't really care because I'm finna still get into it. I'm finna draw the support and resistance lines on these charts, but I want to do it on the chart that I'm actually going to look at. Let me see, USD CAD, UCHEF. See, UCHEF, I did it a little bit. It's kind of choppy. It's kind of really hard to tell, especially for a new eye. Matter of fact, NU is fine. I can do it on NU. Nah, I can't do it on NU. I'm full. Whew, I got a lot of charts. Oh, GN. GN. All right, so let me go back. This is on the weekly chart. the higher the time frame, the stronger the level that you can do it on. One secret, it's really not even a secret. You can start off on a line chart, plot these support and resistance lines on the line chart. So I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna pop out some little yellow lines. Everywhere where I see there's a halt, that's pretty much support and resistance. And I'm gonna show you how it works for both. A lot of people do zones, but I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm actually gonna do both, but I'm gonna keep it simple with the lines first. So there's a very high up here, like this top line where it bounced. That's support. I mean, that's actual resistance. And then you would say like right here, you see where it came up and bounced. So that's a nice little area. And then it came back over here and it bounced and then it ran again. And then eventually in the future, it came back again and bounced. And this is on the weekly. So this is like 2014, 2015, came back 2016, came back 2020, et cetera, et cetera. On the bottom side, you can kind of say it. I'm gonna just throw it right here, because for me, I get real like technical with these lines. I'm gonna just zoom in a little bit. This is just me personally, like how I really get into it. So you can see, like, remember, this is the weekly chart, so it's very strong. So you see like how it came down up here, and then it kind of recessed a little bit, and then it went up for the run. Like it had like a nice little problems like stopping here, and then it came, retested again, retested again, retested again. You go to the future, retest, 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 run through retest, 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 and go to the next one. That's a nice little area. So boom, that's like 4 strong support and resistance lines on the weekly. And then me personally, I go to the daily too, and I do it again on the daily, because the daily, like that's a very strong time frame too. I'm hungry. My banana. No. Let me change that colors. I'm gonna change it to green for the daily. So we got, this could be a decent little line. You see how it came up, retested a couple of times, so on and so forth. I would count this as a nice strong level. I would count this as a nice strong level. Now let's run it back. Let's look back in time, and you see how these same lines get hit over again, like back in time. Like this green line, it came back and hit it. It came back and hit this green line. It came back and retested off this yellow strong line. And the reason I did it on a line chart is just so it can be so clean. You see how it came back, retested the green lines, retested that yellow line. You go back in time. So if it does it, like, it's just saying that level is like a strong level. You see, like down here. So in the future, you can expect for it to actually do it again. I'm gonna go back to the actual candle chart. So now you got support resistance, and I mean you can keep going down to the 4 hour and the 1 hour, so on and so forth. I only get that specific if I'm scalping, which is really getting it like on a smaller time frame. So now that I got these wicks, now that I got the candlesticks plotted, I'm actually gonna put one more line, one more thin line, because I see it. I see it, I see it, I see it. That'll be this little line right here. You see how it came back to the area so many times? Like, remember how the candles work. These wicks are just like rejection. This is just saying that like these candles all have a story, and this is on the daily time frame. So it's a nice little story that they're telling. This is telling me that this whole little sequence, this is telling me that price started right here. It came all the way up here. Didn't go nowhere. It came all the way down. Didn't go nowhere. It did the same thing right here. Up, all the way down, stop. up, all the way down, stop. So people that was trading in this area would really be having a hard time. Like they would have a hard time like trading in this area. Because let's say you tried to buy right here, you would have got stopped out. Because eventually, like it would have hit your stop loss for a sale. Let's say you tried to sell right here. You like you wouldn't gonna have a big stop loss like that. You gonna have like a small stop loss. So that was a tough little area. So this is a nice little zone that I actually see. So now when we go to trading live, or when I actually zoom in, well, matter of fact, let me go to the 4 hour because we tend to use the 4 hour a lot. So on this 4 hour, you see this daily green line down here at the bottom. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back. Because I see a lot of opportunities. There's yellow line. All right, so we're going down, right? We're clearly in the downtrend because just of the way that price is like going down. Oh, like that. This is a clue too. See how these trend lines like line up with the support and resistance line. For trend lines, they usually say put it wick to wick, or you can put it from body to body. And usually, like on the third or fourth trend line, you should see a break. But point is, I'm gonna just put this right here. Keep it like that. So I'm gonna use that trend line as a guide, so it's following the trend. This is a downtrend. You see this weekly line right here. Look how it came back to that weekly line and ran. It almost came back to the weekly line and ran. Almost came back to it and ran. And I mean, like it is in these daily lines too. The weekly lines like really matter. Like the weekly lines and the daily lines matter, but the higher the time frame, the better the move. See, if you would have got in, there's no candlestick. There's no specific candlestick formation that I see right here. It's a cool little engulfing, but let's just say that we on this time frame and you see it playing around in this little area. You seen it come down to the area and took off. This is a nice don't say it. I think it's a shooting star. I don't know. Anyway, let's say you seen the shooting star and let's say you got in right here on the top of this candle. You could have took that down for like 120 pips. And you know that because you see it in the area. You see it come back to the area again. If you would have got in right here, assuming that you did take it, that would have been like 200 pips. I picked GN because GN like really moves, for a lot of pips. You seen it come back to this daily line. You seen the engulfing. You seen the engulfing right here on the daily line. You seen it start trying to make its way up now. So this too. Please. Thank you. All right. So we got this move up. Yeah, we got this engulfing. Now you look at this engulfing, and remember they say that you want to get in on top of the engulfing, and you put your stop loss below. Now it's a big stop loss, like it's 102 pip stop loss. But look at the take profit. Assuming that you want to take it back up to the support that we were talking about, then that's about like a 325 pip move. And that's like these are the basics. Like a lot of traders can't really just get 325 pips like that, let alone can get like 100 to 200. So if you can get in on his trade just by seeing the area that it passed up. Now, if it did hit stop loss, like then yeah, but think about it, like 325 pips. Do I gotta pull out the calculator? Like 325 pips, and this is GBP NZD. Great Britain pound, New Zealand dollar. For a brand new person, 0.01 Euro USD. And if you hold that, that'll be $20 for a new person. This trade, let me see how long it took. This trade you enter right here, This trade took about like 3 days. That's a pretty long. That's a pretty long time. But at the same time, like all you had to do was just hold the trade. Like take it on the account, hold it, and just hold it. 0.01 for the newest person. Assume you was a little bit more risky. You did like a 0.03, $62. And if your stop loss would have been hit, that would be like $20. Or if you're a new person, and if your stop loss would have got hit for 125, that would have been $8. So it just depends on like how you risk. You got to really like be willing to accept the risk. But anyway, like that's how support and resistance like can really like help for a lot of trades. Let me keep going down the line. And keep going down the line. You see again, like this what I mean. Like it came to this little support. It did break it, but then it gave like a nice move up. And it came back down here again, but it broke straight through it. And it hit a new level, or a previous level of support resistance on the daily. And it came back to it again, and then had like a nice little buy up. That would have been cool. I actually wouldn't have got in that just because of how aggressive it moved up. Like getting in on that aggressive move. I would never really see nothing I liked. So that would have been one I would have ignored. This purple line was the line with all the wicks. That was really interesting. I just plotted it because, you know, I wouldn't be too surprised if I see it come back to this area. We hit this new line of weekly support / resistance. You see it playing around in that line a little bit. Trading this line would have been kind of tough. You just would have to see anything that you like. So look at this retest. This retest look good. This is the actual like candlestick formation. I think this is it's not a hammer. It's not an inverted hammer. It is a grave. It looked like a gravestone doji. I don't know. But anyway, as soon as you've seen that, they say you want to enter in like right here and put your stop loss like, you know, your stop loss could have been like right here, like above, like at the high of that candle. And then you could have took it down to the next line. Like ideally, you could have took it down to the next line. And if you did, then you seem like you would have been good. 9 times out of 10, it should follow the line. It should follow and hit like the next level support and resistance. So that's why like good support, like support resistance is real good. Oh, 325 pips. Like how much was risk? That was 54 pips for 325. Like that's a good risk to reward, but you have to hold the trade and you have to be able to withstand. Like you have to be able to withstand the drawdown, because before this trade actually took off, it stayed in drawdown for 8, 12, 16. It stayed in drawdown for about like 20 hours. So that was about like a whole day that it stayed in drawdown. But it went about like, just looked like 4 days. It looked like it went about like 4 or 5 days for it to actually like just like get the take profit that you wanted to see. But that's cool because like while you got this trade going, you still have a bunch of other like charts that you still like can work on. You still got a bunch of opportunities in the market. You don't got to just do it once. Man. Probably not. Let's see. One second.
7 till 8:30.
Just once. So, no, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Okay, this is one. GBP CAD. This is a lot of like support and resistance. It's actually a lot going on with this chart. the only way you're gonna like, really be cool with it is that you have to like adjust your eyes and know what you're seeing. I think these brown lines that I got plotted, can't really see it. I think them brown lines are like daily levels, and then these smaller blue lines are like 4-hour levels. And then you can get as technical as you want, like I said. See, like now when I go to the 4-hour, it doesn't look as bad. And you see the rejection like perfectly. You see how it come up to this brown line? Assume that you want to take it from this brown line down to this blue line. This brown line to this blue line, 90 pips. And then you see it come down to the brown line again. You see you're in the downtrend right now. So you take it down. Maybe you're trying to aim for this next line, but it doesn't reach it. So it's all good. Like you just close out. You just close out like 200 pips of profit, 20 pips of profit, or whatever. It breaks this brown line. Expect upside. This is why I say expect upside. Because look at exactly what's going on in the market. You got this. You actually got a double top back here. You actually got like a nice double top. So if you see that double top forming, definitely expect to sell. Where you're gonna sell it to, you just have to like really just use your judgment. No, what am I doing? No. So you got down move. You got a nice little pullback up. It reaches the up move. You got a big down move. You break this line. You get in on the pullback. If you didn't get in right here, you could have gotten in right here. Got in for like a nice little sale because you follow the structure. Structure is going this way. So you going down, you go down. Nice little pullback. You going down. Can't answer farm right now. You go up. Go down. You go up. This is another like relative double top. Kind of, sort of. Damn. All right. So this is like another relative double top. Come down again. We make a higher low. We don't really make a double bottom. We actually make a higher low. And on that higher low, we made a double bottom. This is going to be kind of a big pill to swallow. Oh, my laptop about to die. I need to hurry up and wrap up. This is going to be a big pill to swallow because you got this higher low right here. You seen it going up. And then you see this double bottom right here while it's still in the higher low. So this is showing that it broke some support down here. And then it came back, retested that support. And now we can start seeing upside. You start seeing upside up here, especially after it breaks right here, this little area. And then you pull back a little bit. You come up again. Definitely confirmation that you're going up. Getting in someone to pull back. You see this pullback is right here near structure. And this is on the 4-hour chart, so it's really going to be like real significant. You get in right here. You put your stop loss maybe at this daily support, being like 52 pips. You take it to you try to take it up. I think, damn, I said the T word like twice. Like 40 push-ups. So that's like 150 pips. You take it up to this next little area. And then you just continue following instruction. You made this pullback. You made this up move. You go down. You can probably expect another up move somewhere. Now, me personally, am I looking for up moves in this trade? In this trend? Let me go to the daily. Let me hide all this and go to the daily. This is just me trying to see where we at in the market. GBP CAD, it actually is in the uptrend, so I wouldn't be surprised because I say we're in the uptrend because on the highest time frame, like really the monthly is the highest, but I'm gonna just go from the weekly. So we got this very big area at the bottom. This red area. This is the weekly support because it is not breaking this area at all, and this is the lowest support. And then we got this high up here. So all of this is telling me is that this is just a big move of this. This is just telling me that was a big up move. We're currently in a pullback on the weekly. currently in a pullback on the weekly. So you could definitely like expect a new high. Like this on the weekly, it's gonna take us a very, very long time to get up there. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Actually, now when you look at it, that's why you always got to go out. Better about to die. Now that you go out, you see we're in a downtrend. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if you see more down moves. Down move, sideways motion, up move, sideways motion, come down a little bit, sideways motion. You might get like a nice little up move or something for the sideways motion. But I don't know. Let me just like stick with the basics. Just understanding where we are right now. It looked like we're going up. So I can expect the pullback to continue going up. So that's all it is. I thought I was going to do another video. I'm not going to do another video. But it's all good because this video was definitely fire. Definitely a fire video. I will catch y'all on the other side. Stay safe in the trading game. Trade involves risk.